What sets communities apart from one another? Is it the people? Is it the environment? Is it the resources? Join us as we explore these questions within our Gainesville community and step inside Porter's Quarters.
Before going to Porter's, I actually didn't think there was a Porter's community. To me, there was no Porter's Quarters.
And living in Gainesville for as long as I have, I've never been through the neighborhood or walked through, driven through, anything like that. So it was completely new to me.
So before going to the Porter's community, I did a lot of research on the project. And sadly, a lot of the articles that you find online focus on the negative things that have been in Porter's in the past. They talk about a lot of violence, drugs, prostitution.
A little fear, a little anxiety, mostly because I'm not comfortable stepping outside of my comfort zone.
For the project, I started doing research about Porter's Quarters, and then I found out about this bad reputation it had about prostitution and about crimes, drugs, and I think a lot of also racist comments too. So I wasn't really expecting much.
I just wanted to see what the community environment was going to be like and how the people were receptive to us coming into their neighborhood.
But there's also a lot of articles on the development of Porter's. So before going, I was really unsure about what I was going to find, and I didn't really know what to think.
We started our journey to explore this blossoming neighborhood by taking Bus Route 1 on the Gainesville transportation system. A quick 5-minute bus ride took us directly from UF's campus to the Porter's community. Welcome to Porter's, Gainesville's invisible community. Before traveling to Porter's, we had no prior knowledge about the community. But after our visit, we were able to quickly learn about the deep history rooted in the community and the great strides in development that it has had to endure throughout the years. Porter's Quarters is named after Canadian natives Watson and his wife Olivia A. Porter. Watson Porter entered the U.S. after enlisting in the 3rd Union Colored Troops as a surgeon. In the late 19th century, following the Civil War, the Porter's family purchased the land to then resell it to African Americans in order to start the growth of the Gainesville community through agriculture. Another very important establishment is the historical Shady Grove Primitive Baptist Church. It was listed as a Florida Heritage Site because of its rich belonging throughout over 100 years here. During the Civil Rights Movement, the church served as a secret meeting place to plan efforts to support the integration of African Americans into Gainesville schools. Then, at the heart of Porter's lies the Community Center. It is a historical landmark as its field hosted major sports games played in Gainesville with teams such as the City Giants, an African American baseball team, and the Oak Halls. The first University of Florida football game was also played on this field in 1906. But in 1996, residents wanted to diminish the lack of recreation that children had available, so where there once was a large community ballpark then became a community center. Since 1996, the community center has become a place that offers a variety of opportunities, inclusive of physical activity. Community meetings are held frequently at the center for citizens to discuss imposed improvements. S&S Cleaners is a family-operated business located parallel to the community farm, offering both personal and commercial garment cleaning since 1948. Inside of Porter's, the International Grocery and Convenience Store is easily accessible to neighborhood residents. But just outside of the Porter's boundaries lies larger grocery stores where more food options are available.
So when we got off the bus, we walked towards Porter's, and from the outside it looks a little dreary.
And especially because I was walking around with my camera. So I got a lot of weird looks, and a couple people yelled at me for asking me, what am I filming or why am I filming them?
But when I went to the neighborhood, I remember we went to a health fair and like we were meeting everyone from the community, and well, not everyone, but a lot of people from the community, and they were more than nice to us. And despite, I think, the lack of resources put into the neighborhood, I think I saw a lot of potential, and I saw a lot of talent and a lot of strength and resilience in a lot of the community members that I saw.
We got to speak to multiple people that came into the community to help, and people who lived in the community.
So you definitely see something that when you search like online about the Porters community, you're not going to get that. You're only going to get it from going there. And I thought that was very interesting.
So what do people in the community think about Porters?
The streets need to be cleaned. The condition of living, the housing conditions for the people, it is disparate treatment. Because money is not going to Porters, but all around Porters, money's being put into and built up. Porters community has been here too long not to be built up.
Yeah, it's historic.
Yeah, and the kids, for example, they should have better usage of the community center. They should have way more stuff available to them. They don't have it available. In the busing system, they need to be available. They need to have people monitoring. Miss Faye is one of the only people who's coming in and making sure kids are getting on the bus safely. There should be more people doing that. We should have more, like, not against the community, but people who are coming in to bring resources.
Yeah, totally agree.
So what is Porters like now? You see, Porters has come a long way. What Porters once was is vastly different than what it is today. Porters is trying to rise above the gentrification and neglect it faces through the positive impact of local neighbors and initiatives such as hosting health fairs, painting neighborhood houses, and the Youth Community Gardening Program. The Youth Community Gardening Program is a major initiative in Porters that occurs every week at the community farm. The community farm ultimately serves to grow crops and supply fresh organic vegetables to the St. Francis House, a homeless shelter close in location to Porters. It also allows community members to give back to the greater Gainesville community and contribute to the development of Porters.
We have this garden, not this one, but the one over on the corner.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
And I don't know, like we ran into some kids in the neighborhood and just like kids were fun, and we started talking to them, and like the center is right here, and the connection was kind of obvious. Like they're just here after school, why not like come and do something novel and interesting that they probably had never like encountered.
And they were interested in the idea of gardening, so we arranged with the community center to once a week take them for an hour, go down in the garden, and they started like, you know, planting seeds, having seedlings, transplanting them, and at the end of the season, like harvesting their own food to eat.
Oh, nice.
Really
And
exciting.
is there like any change in the community you've seen, at least in the kids also?
I think so. Yeah, a lot of the parents that I've spoken to are appreciative that we're spending time with the kids and like teaching them these basics that, you know, maybe they don't have time to do or that no one else has yet. And the kids love it. They like all of a sudden they're like, we love salad.
Lastly, leaders in the community have begun to create greater access to the community center for all members through the beginning of summer camps for children, cookouts, free computer classes, bingo for the elderly, and access to basketball courts. Overall, this experience has been very eye-opening, and we only hope that other members of the Gainesville community have the chance to see Porters like we have seen it here.
After visiting the Porters community, I definitely hope that they can get more exposure and that more events and more health opportunities can be brought to this community, you know, restoring some of the homes and, you know, giving anything from education to health literacy. All these opportunities should be available for them. And one thing that really struck me, one woman who was speaking at the event, she said that, you know, there's so much construction, things are being fixed all over Gainesville, roads are being replaced, but those things aren't being done in their community. And I think that that's something that really stood out to me, was that, you know, it shouldn't be ignored.
So my thoughts after visiting Porters was different from everyone else's perspective because I was behind the camera majority of the time. I really got to see how people reacted to newcomers coming into Porters, and to my experience, it was not as I expected because they were all really nice and free to talk about the community and just open about life.
I think that Porter's has a lot of opportunity and potential to grow. But I honestly think that depends on students like us and also other Gainesville community members and people also in Porter's. I myself come from an underserved community, and I think that empowerment and education is a big component of this, as well as activism. I think that programs like the community farm are great. We're educating kids and even other community members to be hard workers, to not give up, but also like teach them to have a healthy diet, how to have access to healthy foods, to learn how to make healthy choices. And I think that's something that you don't get from anywhere.
So going into Porter's, I actually didn't realize I shared the same zip code with them. So I just thought that was crazy. I think people really need to realize that Porter's is not a place of danger. It's not a scary place. It's a place where actually a lot of students that we go to school with live there, and they're very passionate about developing their community and integrating it to be something that into Gainesville that people admire and see the culture. And I really think it would be good for the people at our university and Gainesville as a whole to recognize Porter's and see the good things that they're doing and what they can contribute to our community.
Cut.